Good afternoon, good morning. This is Mark Johnson from Loyalty 360. I hope everyone's happy, safe, and well. Welcome back to another episode of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series. In this series, as you know, we talk to the brand leaders about what they are seeing and hearing on the front lines of customer, channel, and brand loyalty. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with David Prokupek, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Ideal Image. They are a direct-to-consumer telehealth brand with a mission to help people look and feel their best through laser hair removal, body sculpting, Botox, and anti-aging services, among others. I think I could use a few of those. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today, David.
Great to be here, Mark.
First off, we always like to get a little information about you, what you do, and also maybe a fun fact about you, something you like to do.
Sure thing. Well, I'm from the Midwest. I went to school there. I've been a serial entrepreneur for the last 20 years, working with private equity firms. And I'm at Ideal Image as a big investor and the CEO, and working on the brand transformation that you talked about. In terms of fun facts, I'm a big road biker. I like to helicopter ski, kind of an adventure adrenaline guy. At the end of the day. So just like to have fun and work hard.
Road bike, as you mean in riding or cycling or motorcycle?
Road bike, just regular, no motor on it. Just I like to climb mountains and just go on long rides.
That is awesome. And for those who are not familiar with Ideal Image, can you give us a little background on Ideal Image and everything that they do? I kind of talked about it a little bit in the intro. Would love to learn more about what you guys do and how you do it.
Yeah, look, the company's 20 years old. It started as a laser hair removal business. It was founded by two docs 20 years ago. And today we're the #1 aesthetic brand in North America. We've got about 150 locations around the United States and Canada. And as you mentioned, we're really the leader from everything from laser hair removal to anti-aging services, Botox, fat reduction, but everything that makes people, look and feel good.
A quick follow-up question to that. Going through COVID, some people took COVID as an opportunity to get healthy. Some people kind of unfortunately went the other way, and we've seen kind of obesity rise a little bit going through the last year. And not everyone's into extreme sports or biking like you. And I'm a big weightlifter, and I love to run as well. So try to do the best I can. What have you seen during that time? Have people been doing more kind of health treatments to make themselves look and feel better? Are there different kind of behaviors that you've seen during COVID?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think we've been really fortunate coming out of since June of last year. We've seen our business grow 15, 20, 25% a month on month, and has really taken off. We already were growing double digits. It's interesting, we've seen what we call the Zoom effect out there, where we just talked to 5,000 consumers. About half the country doesn't really feel that great right now about how they look when they see themselves on Zoom every day. We're seeing a big increase, 70-80% increase in our fat reduction business right now. We're seeing some shifts, post-COVID here. And I think people, a lot of the country did gain weight, and a lot of people didn't. And I think the folks that did are looking to get back to where they were, and it's helping our business right now.
Well, that's good. There's obviously a lot of extra money floating around in the economy now. Things starting to pick up. Nice growth numbers last Tuesday. So that's good. That's good. When someone has kind of a fat reduction or a product like that, do you see kind of changes in their behavior, or do you see them that's a kind of easier way for them to get to where they want, and then they can maintain that? What do you see in that regard? I'm always fascinated by behavioral economics and just behavioral psychology, just how that works with your audience.
Yeah, I think that people really are. All of us, a lot of us have New Year's resolutions and all kinds of things, in our life. But, one thing we've done in the fat reduction business is just help people get enough cycles, at bats to get the fat, away. And we launched a lifetime guarantee where once you have your first round of treatments, if you want to come back for more and have maintenance, you can do that. And so we see a lot of people continue with maintenance. And, for us, what's next is, fat and weight management is probably the #1 aesthetic concern in the United States. And whether that's from food to non-invasive procedures. And so I think we're seeing a lot of people interested through supplements, exercise, broadly beyond just treatments to want to get into better shape and feel good about their body composition.
Yeah, it's interesting. We have a membership community, about 125 different brands. GNC and Vitamin Shop are both members. So it's always interesting to hear with them when we talk with them about what they're doing, what they're seeing, this kind of supplements and how things are growing there. So I think there, as you mentioned, is a dichotomy. Those who are, probably more focused on health and wellness, and then probably some that may be struggling a little bit. So it's good that you offer them some opportunity to enhance and address, the challenges. That's great.
Absolutely.
So you just launched a membership package at Ideal Image. Can you tell us a little bit about what's involved in that membership package and kind of what that does for you and for the customer?
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, our mission here has been aesthetics largely has been, I would say, the purview of the corner of Park Avenue and Rodeo Drive. And so one of the our opportunity has been to really open it up to everybody. And so we're seeing 10 women who want to use aesthetics for everyone that's using it. And so we saw one of the ways to open up the market was starting a membership. And I just wanted to be the most affordable, consumer friendly thing out there. And so it's pretty cool. I mean, we call it our lifetime guarantee membership. It's super simple. For $250 a year, you get a free treatment worth at least that amount. So people can sample from laser hair removal or muscle building or fat reduction or anything. We're going to give them our best prices. And so people, we get you VIP pricing. So someone who's a Botox user can get Botox for $8.90 a unit. That might not mean anything to you, but most people would pay $15 or $20, so we're giving people really affordable rates without making a big financial commitment, so for $250, they're money good, from day one with the treatments that they get for free, and then they get our best pricing. And so far, 40% of our customers are buying it. We've got over 20,000 members in the first 3 months. It's really been very, very successful.
Okay. When it's also, there's a big push right now for subscription businesses, premium loyalty programs, because it really allows you, as you know, to kind of attract and retain some of the most loyal customers you have, the engaged customers, and they're raising their hand, and that allows some for some deep reciprocity, as you know.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what we're finding here, we wanted people to pick the level of commitment they wanted to make. So we picked a number at $250 a year, not even, a monthly charge, and then let them pick and choose when they want to engage with the brand. And that was some pretty interesting insight relative to other memberships that are out there.
Okay. And how long has the program been around, and have you made some changes to it recently?
We just launched. It was 2 years in the making. I came 3 years ago. We really studied hard how to do something, transformational. 2 years in the making. Just launched in January, and so we're like I said, we're selling. 4 out of every 10 people are getting it with their aesthetic package. We'll be launching here, momentarily, a medical grade skincare line, and so we'll be adding other features to membership to let you buy skincare cheaper than you can get on Amazon or in any doctor's office. And we'll just continue to invest to make our best prices come from membership, as we continue to evolve, the brand here.
Okay, that's awesome. When you look at some of the products that you're offering, is there a good deal of regulatory control or kind of maintenance that you have to kind of adhere to, especially as you add, skincare offerings and others? Are you a highly regulated entity?
Yeah, I mean, we're a healthcare business at the end of the day. I mean, we're doing, we've done 20 million FDA treatments, in our company's history, and we'll do almost 1 million new treatments this year. So first and foremost with healthcare. So everything's about safety, FDA clearance, everything's done with a medical professional, doctor, nurse, that kind of thing. So everything we do is regulated. And for the most part, we're using other people's products that we're delivering. So, Botox is made by Allergan, or Cool Sculpting by Allergan. But in the healthcare, on the skincare piece, we've got our chief medical officer is a dermatologist. She and our medical board will go out and scour and just find, the best ingredients, and basically finding skincare that works for people, and delivering on that. So that's really how we approach it.
That's awesome. Customer loyalty, it's it was an important term before COVID. We feel that it's more important now after going through. What's customer loyalty mean to you and your organization?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I always say to my team that if you gave that as a final exam question, at school, you'd get a lot of different answers to that. And look, for us, it's about a happy and engaged customer. Someone for us who's having a connection with the brand beyond any one medical pro or any one person at the company. And for us, we're measuring lots of different KPIs around that, but ultimately it's about happy and engaged client base. And for me, we're looking, since I came here 3 years ago, I mean, we're really measuring how much of our growth comes from our existing guests versus new, and how much more they engage with the brand. And while there's lots of other metrics underneath it, that's what we're really hyper focused on right now, is the relative growth that comes from both new and existing guests.
Okay. When you look at personalization, I would think personalization is very important to you. You offer a wide array of products and services, and in growing that accordingly. How does personalization kind of drive what you do? So understanding what the next treatment they may have an interest in. If someone's getting Botox, does that make them kind of a candidate for fat reduction or laser hair removal or whatever it may be? How do you look at personalization?
Yeah, I think personalization is the most significant thing for us, to ultimately grow our business. I'd say for us, there's, three or four areas. Our business model, we operated, you mentioned at the outset of the show, we operate as a direct-to-consumer lead gen business. So the front end, we spend a ton of money on getting people filling out lead forms and responding to ads. And we sell free consultations, meaning that first interaction. And so there's tremendous level of personalization about what your personal journey is. People are sharing intimate details of their life. They're sharing, things that bother them about themselves. And so we have to do a great job of drawing that out of people, keeping it confidential, and making it easy to pick up, when the next conversation takes place. We're also digitizing it in a way. We're spending a lot of time right now on digitizing that process to make it, a lot easier to have those conversations, along the way. In our clinics, our med pros are giving out the treatments. And so at that point of care, creating what we call a wish list and keeping track of it and having conversations about what's next on the journey is a big part of what we're doing. And then I'm really looking forward to AI here. I mean, we're really looking at how can you really, take personalization to the proverbial next level. And we think there's a lot of opportunity in AI, around all of it for us, that can really supercharge, the benefits of it.
Absolutely. So you talked a little bit about AI, machine learning, neural networks, what have you. Technology is very important to marketers today. Getting them the technology stack to work, the MarTech stack to work. There's 8,500, 8,600 different technologies throughout the stack now and growing.
Right.
It seems like there's a new customer loyalty, customer experience player every week. And we actually do analyst reports on them and help brands kind of sync up with the platform that they need or kind of the best fit. But it's a big challenge for marketers. How do you guys look at technology to help you get the most out of personalization or in engagement strategies that you have?
Yeah, look, I think it's one of the biggest challenges is the tech stack, as you say. I mean, we're a Salesforce shop. We run our company off of Salesforce, in terms of our broad operating platform. And so for us, the technologies have to easily fit into that. I'm an 80-20 person, meaning I'd like to get 80% of the gain out of 20% of the platforms. And so we have to pick and choose carefully, and really try to use the ones that are most popular and the easy to use and get us the most benefit. There's just really no way to keep up with it all, I think, right now. So we're focused on the ones that have the most impact. And we're always testing stuff in the background.
Good. I think test and learn methodology, especially if you're amenable to failing quickly in certain opportunities, it's the best way for brands to kind of work. But I think also is that we have a great little community where brands get to talk to each other, like Salesforce, or maybe who they may be using for AI. Is it working? Is it not working? Because that can be the biggest challenge, as you know. You go through an RFI, RFP, you see kind of that logo jungle where there's 15, 20 different brands, and you see the same provider as the same brands. Like, how do you discern? Do they actually do what they say they do? And I think that can be a big challenge for marketers, especially as everything is so rapidly evolving.
Yeah, and not needing to have a PhD, as I say, to be able to operate them. I mean, it really, having it be simple so that you can plug and play and get going and get the results that you're looking for. But look, at the end of the day, technology is making all of our lives better, as it relates to being marketers, and it's helping us, whether it's on our landing pages or in our email or CRM campaigns or the way the phone rings or, really across the board. We run our business to lifetime value and cost to acquire. And, we need those tools in order to thrive.
Absolutely. You mentioned partnerships. Obviously, you're going to have partnerships with Allergan, with Botox, and then different products that you represent. What do partnerships mean to you, not only potentially with the medical community that you work very closely with, and the HIPAA compliance there and everything I'm sure you have to do there, but also maybe from promotional partnerships? Is that something you guys look at? Because partnerships are kind of a growing area of interest for our audience, and would love to understand how you guys approach partnerships.
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think those kind of partnerships are on the horizon here for us. I mean, whether there's lots of health and wellness and beauty brands. I mean, our clients way over index just wellness overall. They're 2 times more likely to use supplements than the average person, or go to yoga, or even using accessories or handbags, or the way they accessorize their house. I mean, our clients are just aesthetically minded and wellness minded individuals. So I think there's a lot to do there that we haven't capitalized on yet. And the same thing as the world opens up here, whether it's like the dry bars of the world, or there's various other non-traditional places to try to create synergy and energy with in the physical world out there as well, that we're super excited to go explore.
Okay, great. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Customers changing. How are your customers changing? You talked about that they want to be healthy, they want to look better, and kind of overall, do you kind of have a broad perspective on how they're changing, or is it feeling better? That Zoom fatigue you mentioned. What are you seeing there from a macro level?
Yeah, I think a couple of big themes. I mean, for sure, I would say in our category, clients getting comfortable and consumers getting comfortable with telehealth has been a big change. We've taken our entire platform to tele, on 10 days notice here, a year ago, and thank God we're heading in the right direction. But 75% of Americans are comfortable in some kind of tele environment as it relates to their healthcare or their wellness. And so we just need to continue to keep investing to make that experience great and have that feel really personal. I think to your point on the Zoom boom, 70% of people are looking to spend more money on their health and wellness next year than this year. They're willing to explore aesthetics and other ways to kind of naturally look good. There's kind of less of a move towards invasive, the move towards invasive surgeries and the like are way down. But natural approaches to looking better are on the rise. And then I would just say, from a consumer behavior perspective, the ability to be there when they want you to be there right now, especially with people being teachers at home and moms and dads and working. So we've gone to 9 to 9 hours, 7 days a week. I mean, we really expanded our hours and did a lot of different things to really meet people where they live. And I don't think we're going back from that, anytime soon.
That's awesome. That's great. And I think that we continue to hear meeting, and that the customer in the channel that they want to engage with is very important, as you mentioned. What KPIs do you guys look at with regard to your subscription program? Or you mentioned earlier, traditionally you've been a very acquisition focused entity, right? So you're getting people to take surveys so you can get that zero party data that you can action around. What KPIs do you guys look at for your subscription program, or for your audience in general from a marketing engagement perspective?
Yeah, at the highest level, I mean, from a subscription, I mean, we measure our memberships in like attachment rates, how many clients attach at a certain rate. We measure, you had mentioned it earlier, but just what we would call the cross trial or cross sell. If you come in for laser hair, how many people then try Botox or anti-aging? And so we've got kind of a whole customer journey built, but we look at those KPIs and it helps drive the business. 10,000 feet higher, we really focus on what it costs to get new clients. And so our funnel is incredibly strong. I mean, we'll spend $300 or $400 or $500 to get a client, but we'll get $2,000 or $3,000 out of them, on their first purchase. And so we've got a whole digital team, a team that came out of the credit card industry that's really focused around our cost to acquire, the cost to keep. And then lifetime value, we are putting in strategies as you decide as an executive team, just measuring things in a lifetime value perspective. What can we do that gets you coming 6 months longer, 12 months longer, 24 months longer, buying one more thing during the year.
Absolutely.
So those basically, and then there's sub tactics, but those are the kinds of things we look at in our company to drive value.
Well, I think also being potentially part of other people's loyalty programs, right, from a partnership perspective or from a customer experience perspective. I think that there could be some unique opportunities there, high-end hotels like Hyatt, who's a member, or even maybe some of the vitamin shops as well, Vitamin Shop or GNC, some partnership opportunities. You're finding those like-minded customers that have kind of the same emotional connection, the same drivers as well. I think would be very important, or could be very important.
Yeah, and we've got with the national, we've got the largest, point of care network in North America. Those kinds of partnerships with national brands get easier and easier to execute on, when people can access them, all around the United States.
Okay, great. I guess last question I have for you, two last questions. What do you think the next big thing for your brand's approach to customer experience, customer loyalty may be?
Yeah, I think the next big thing is we're hyper focused on the digital experience. And as I said, whether it's through the sales process, our next set of product offerings are going to be what we call at home, where you'll do a virtual consultation, but we are getting into the wellness business, and so that whether that's women's health and related items, or wellness overall, or nutrition, medical or prescription grade skincare. So really making that medical, where you can do it, do have a consultation, personal consultation online, but also don't have to come into a clinic to get what you want, that it can be delivered, straight to your house. So it's a pretty big idea for us to have end to end, either, go into a clinic to get a procedure done or get what you need delivered to your home or work, is really, from a business model perspective, the next big idea for us. Okay. And I think we'll just kind of connect consumers broadly, in terms of our ecosphere.
And a quick question, but competitive set. I think your competitive set would be fairly broad, right? Especially as you start to look more holistically at customers. Gyms could be a competitive set, right? Plastic surgery could be a competitive set. Even maybe some of the kind of extreme activities you have that people are partaking in for health and wellness. How do you look at the competitive set?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. And so we're in a highly fragmented industry. There's 35,000 dermatologists, plastic surgeons, med spas. So we're the largest, with 150 locations, we're far and away the largest, point of care network out there. So I look at it as highly fragmented, and it's why we're building a health and wellness brand. We can all name what they are, but as you look at what's going on with Calm or Talkspace, or, we can go, Teledoc, or various things, we're really creating a brand in this aesthetics and wellness space, as a one-stop shop for all things. And then having this digital moat of being great on the digital front and the consumer experience front, really, we think is going to be a really big differentiator, from a consumer experience and loyalty perspective.
That's awesome. And then the last question I have, what can Loyalty 360 do to help you in your journey around customer loyalty, customer experience? Are there different metrics or KPIs, or what are you looking for that can help you and your team?
Yeah, look, I think it's a great question. I mean, look, we run our company on data, so big data, little data. And so any kind of data around these, what are great, metrics around CRM or AI, or, just in general, just kind of being able to benchmark, ourselves, and I'm sure other CEOs would like that as well, is just knowing whether you're doing a good or bad job, around the data. I think the other area for me is really the networking with other CEOs and marketing leaders around how to get the most out of the technology stack, or ideas around the AI, or just, new technologies coming down the road. I think, to me, would be, really, really helpful. And I enjoy, just hearing from other smart people about how they're, tackling these challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a kind of a C-level SVP and above group, Wyndham and Lego and Porsche and others, that are talking about next generation customer experience. They meet as part of the membership, and I think it could be a very interesting group. It's smart people, and it's just interesting to hear how they're looking at things domestically, internationally, challenges. And they're pretty frank, which is interesting as well. As we've grown the membership, I think having that peer group that can say things may not be going necessarily as well as I would like to, or how do you look at Salesforce or other technologies and what's working, what's not. I think it's a pretty powerful thing just to hear it from other peers, which is good.
Yeah, no, we should definitely get involved. It would be great. So, I mean, that's how we like to run our businesses, is, from the wisdom of others as well. So that'd be great.
Absolutely. Well, David, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today. It was great learning more about Ideal Image and some things you guys are doing, and just the intense focus you have on the customer. It's great to hear. And a lot of times we talk to brands and they don't necessarily have the passion or focus that you have. And I think it comes across pretty powerfully in the way you speak to what you guys are doing. So it's great to hear.
Great. Thanks for having us. And I appreciate meeting you. We'll get involved. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone for listening, and tune back in soon.